Hi, writers. So, we have been learning about poetry for 2 weeks now. We've learned a lot of things about poetry and we've done a lot of practice writing poems. And I've been giving you a lot of ideas for tricks to add into your poems. And I've also been giving you ideas about what to write about. Today, we get to have a little bit of fun and be really creative, and we get to write about whatever we want today. And we get to think about all the things that we've learned, even in small moments and in poetry, and bring all of that together to do whatever you want in poetry today. So before we start, though, let's go over what we've already learned about the tricks that we can use in poetry writing. So we know that sometimes poems have rhythm, sometimes they have rhymes, but they don't always have to, okay? Sometimes poems can look totally different from regular writing that we see in books. So I want you guys to think about that when you're thinking about your poems. And I also want you to remember that we talked about using all of our senses, like with our bubble poems, using what we see, what we smell, what we taste, what we hear, what we feel with our hands, and what we feel with our hearts. Okay, and then let's remember all the tricks that we used. We used personification. That means that we make something that's not alive come to life and have feelings and actions. You did that with your gingerbread men poem. Okay? We've used similes when you make a comparison and you use the word like or as. Okay? We used hyperboles and extreme exaggeration. I've told you a million times. My backpack weighs a ton. Those are all things that you say that are extreme exaggerations. Okay? We also used alliteration. We used alliteration in our candy cane poems where we used the sound k as many times as we could. Okay? So I want you guys to remember those too. If you open up your poetry notebooks and you flip past the gingerbread man that we worked on yesterday, you're going to see lots of different kinds of paper, okay? You've got paper that looks like this. It's mostly just lines. You've got paper that looks like this. That's about half lines and half box for a picture. You've got paper that looks like this. That kind of looks like the first one. So you've got two of those. You've got paper where it's only a few lines and a big box for a picture. And I gave you just a blank sheet of paper if you wanted to do a shape poem, okay? So you've got choices here. Today is your day to get creative. I'm not going to tell you what to write about. I'm not going to tell you how to write about it. You guys know how to be poets. Think about what you're going to write about. What are you going to write a poem about? And once you think of that, think of all your senses. Think of all the writing tricks that we've learned in poetry. Decide the paper that you want to use, and then just get to writing. I can't wait to hear what your creative brains come up with for all of your poems. So when you're done, make sure you share it with me, and I will give you the link to Flipgrid. All right, guys, have fun writing your poems today.